According to Russia, the development of a banking system similar to SWIFT will assist BRICS countries in transitioning to a new economic reality that is comparable to SWIFT but does not use SWIFT. The most recent scoop from BRICS News is presented below. This provides additional evidence that the current financial structure, as well as the dollar's role as a reserve currency for the globe, will ultimately fail. The newly developed web-based tracks are being made by BRICS are not required to use SWIFT. They are not even interested in SWIFT. They will not utilize SWIFT because they are shifting to a new financial system that is based on digital assets. To serve as a replacement for SWIFT in Western countries, the BRICS alliance is now developing its very own financial messaging system. Pay particular attention to the phrases that are used to replace SWIFT in order to bring about a shift in the way that international trade operates. Because of this new system, the BRICS nations will no longer be required to settle transactions that take place across international borders using the United States currency. It is possible to alter the equilibrium of economic power in markets located outside of the country. In an official statement, the BRICS nations have stated that they are getting closer and closer to achieving their aim of breaking away from the Western world. As a result, other nations are beginning to express their desire to become members of the BRICS Plus alliance, which is seeing rapid expansion. There is neither a dollar nor a fast. Blockchain technology and digital goods will be utilized. While point of fact, while doing so, the first reading of a law that makes it permissible to send bitcoins to foreign nations was accomplished by the Russian government. Because there were 404 votes in favor of this new asset class and 0 votes against it, it was a complete and utter acceptance. I believe that the United States of America ought to immediately do the same thing. There are only 3 days left until the final vote, which is scheduled to take place on July 3rd. On September 1st, which is a little more than a month from now, the law will become effective and immediately go into action. Very essential news that is really vital, and once more. As can be seen, cryptocurrency is seeing a meteoric rise on the platform or app at the moment, which is unmistakable evidence that it has finally arrived to take control and become the foundation of this new monetary system that will replace the current system. However, you must not misunderstand, it will not be Bitcoin. In a sense, Bitcoin is a Trojan horse that they are employing in order to conceal the real-world utility tokens such as Ripple and XRP that will ultimately take the place of Quick. This is evident due to the fact that SWIFT-based transactions are far faster than in the past. Nonetheless, customers frequently do not know what is happening with their money or where it is located. Making transactions on holidays and even on weekends is becoming increasingly difficult. This trend is expected to continue. Outside of normal banking hours, they are very much useless, and it will be this lack of transparency and the occasional delays that will cause problems in the future. In the context of a market that is being increasingly globalized, this was the challenging task that Ripple had set out to do, and they were successful in doing so. This conversation with Marjane de Latine reveals that she formerly worked for SWIFT and was in charge of significant initiatives in the payments and securities industries. You may hear this information now. Then, in an effort to shake up the established financial system, she joined Ripple. Take a listen to this. My appearance is reminiscent of Marjane de Latine. Ripple has been my employer for the past 10 months, and I have been employed by SWIFT for more than 10 years. Prior to it, I was in charge of the Global Payments Initiative GPI, which was responsible for modifying the international or transaction banking systems. You have probably already heard about it. Now, let's continue our discussion on Ripple. In order to cause difficulty, I decided to join Ripple, and I feel that this is the primary objective of the network. An example of a blockchain company is Ripple. At Ripple, our objective is to construct an ecosystem that is centered on our vision of turning the internet into a place where value can be found. Despite the fact that we are able to immediately share information via the internet, the process of making payments still takes a significant amount of time, 3 to 5 days, for a simple international transaction. As a result, our objective, also known as the Ripple objective, is to make international money transfers and payments as simple as transferring data over the internet in the present day. To put it succinctly, that is what we are doing. Us.Thankx is a corporation that has Citibank as a significant investor and a number of well-known clients. She is currently the managing director of Us.Thankx. Sincerity compels me to admit that Marjane de Latine is no longer employed with Ripple. Citibank and Ripple have been collaborating for a considerable amount of time in order to devise alternative methods of conducting business for central banks. The countries that make up the BRICS group are aware that Ripple possesses the technology and the rules necessary to surpass the Swiss system. In their new approach, they will be utilizing XRP. In the years to come, XRP is going to be the most valuable cryptocurrency. Nevertheless, this is not the only reason Ripple is also going to launch its very own stablecoin, which will be called the RLUSD, within the next 1 to 2 months. 2 months. It will have a value of $1 to 1 and will be backed by the United States dollar. In addition, the RLUSD will be listed on a number of exchanges, which is even more encouraging new information. We are able to learn more about this topic from Marcus and Franca's conversation. The ability to mint directly with Ripple will be available to enterprise users of an institutional grade. It is very important news. You should pay close attention. 544. A New York trust license, around 40 money transmission license in the United States, a mass payment license, and a number of other licenses are among our possessions. There is a good chance that this Ripple stable will be offered on more than market. Users who are associated with enterprise-level institutions will have the ability to mint directly with Ripple. This is also true in the first phases. Greater amounts of currency will be added to the XRP ledger in proportion to the extent to which the RLUSD is utilized as a medium of exchange for high liquidity lanes, such as $2. XRP's value will increase as a result of this, since it will become more useful. In a lecture that was very similar to this one, Marcus and Franga affirmed that the RLUSD has an incredible amount of potential in terms of both pricing and use case. The market for stablecoins is estimated to be worth between $21 and $22 trillion in the United States alone. Consider what a situation is like in every location. There is a tremendous amount of potential listening. What strategies do you intend to implement in order to acquire a larger portion of the market than PayPal, Circle, and Tether, which have been operating for some time? The question is very interesting. To begin, I would want to inquire about the total market capitalization of stablecoins around the world. It is somewhat more than 150 billion. At the moment, there are approximately $21 to $22 trillion worth of loans in the United States of America all over the world. This is based on the levels of money supply that are M0, M1, and M2 respectively. The question is, why do I say this? Due to this particular reason, we are not really wondering, oh my God, how is this going to compete with USDC and USDT? However, it is more like, hey, this pie is going to get so much bigger than it is now. As a result, we believe that USDC will remain in this location, which is fantastic. These alterations are seen by us more as a sort of cooperative addition than as a form of competition. Taking into consideration, for example, the history of our company, the track record that we have established, and the use cases, we are quite confident. The fact that this Ripple stablecoin will play a significant role in bringing about change in the financial markets has been known to us for more than 10 years. RLUSD will be the only stablecoin available, but large gray clients will be more interested in it than any other stablecoin. Since RLUSD has not yet been released and Tether is rapidly becoming obsolete, it is only natural that Circle is in command of this situation at the moment. We are able to observe this from Cyprus. As of right now, Dollar Tether has a grade of D, whereas the figures on the blue chip stablecoin Dollar Circle have a rating of B, which is not a terrible recommendation. At this point, it appears that Tether has been rendered obsolete, and I believe that when the RLUSD is released, it will also be valued more than Circle. Additionally, you are quite fortunate to be here at such an early hour in the institution.